Hey guys, I'm making this specifically for second period. I'm very sorry I cannot be there today. I'm going to start off by telling you guys to right now take your project and put it in the manila folder that's on the desk right next to where you enter the door. So just take a minute right now, get your project out, put it in that folder. Okay, so again, really sorry I can't be there today, but I'm going to do my absolute best to answer all of your homework questions first, and then we're going to teach the lesson second. If you guys have any questions that I have not answered, please feel free to email me or text me on Remind, and I will do my absolute best to answer any of your questions in preparation for the quiz tomorrow. Just a heads up about the quiz tomorrow. There are 10 questions. There are no proofs on the quiz. And as long as you're doing okay with the homework, and I would suggest watching my review podcast that will be up on campus. Watch that if you have any questions. Yeah, so let's get right into the homework. The first one I had a lot of questions about was number 7. Okay, number 7, which is right here on the board. While the answers are written in here, I'm going to go through and just kind of explain how we got there. Now, there's absolutely no way that I can figure out what y is because I don't know if this is a special triangle or not. I don't know if this is an isosceles triangle. So the first thing I have to do, and probably the easiest thing that I can do, is figure out what angle T is. Okay, so we all know to figure out what angle T is, we're going to take 180 and we're going to subtract 78 plus 24. Okay, so 78 plus 24 is 104. Excuse me, 102. Okay, so 180 minus 102 is what gives us 78. Okay, so now that I know that this angle is 78, I know that I have an isosceles triangle on my hands. So we can use the conjecture that we learned on Tuesday to say if I have two congruent angles, then I also have two congruent sides. All right, so now all I have to do is 38.5 is the same as y plus 22.5. So I'm going to subtract that 22.5, and I get y equals 16. Is that right? Yeah. So y equals 16. So now if I plug 16 in here and plug 16 in here, so I already know that this is going to give me that 38.5. All right, so it's asking for the perimeter. It's not enough just to get y. So I need to do 16 plus 2 times 38.5. Now, could you do 16 plus 38.5 plus 38.5? Yes, absolutely. It's just easier for me to do that right there. So that's going to give me my 93 centimeters. Okay, tip on the quiz. If you don't have centimeters or if you don't have your little degree mark, I'm going to take a point off. So please make sure that you label everything like it should be labeled. All right, so that's number 7. Okay, let's go on here. Number 10. All right, so number 10 is absolutely a little bit tricky. Okay, so we need to think kind of outside of the box or outside of the triangle, so to speak here. Let's figure out what we can figure out quickly. Okay, really quickly without even doing any kind of math, I know that these two are vertical angles. Therefore, B is 56. All right, how am I going to get A? I know that A and 56 are a linear pair, okay, meaning I just need to do 180 minus 56, okay, and that's going to give me, what, 124? Okay, so I've got 124 right here. Got it. All right, now, next. They've told me that these two are parallel. They tell me that for a reason. So I'm going to have to go into what I know about the rules of being parallel and see if I've got anything. Okay, do I have any alternate interior with A? This whole thing is, but no, I can't make any assumptions there because I don't know what this little piece is. Let's talk about B. Okay, so B is located right here above and to the left of the transversal, above the parallel to the left of the transversal. Hey, C is also above and to the left of the transversal, so they are what? They're corresponding. Okay, so this is also 56. Okay, so that's all I can really figure out without really having to think about this. All right, now, H and K pretty much out of the question. I don't know. I can't get either one of those with the information that I have. I can't get N or P. I just have one angle of that triangle. Over here, G and F and E, they're kind of out of it. So let's look about what they're telling me is congruent. Now, I know angle D, angle E, and this unknown angle are all the same. Now, are all of those angles part of maybe a bigger triangle? Okay, so this is where it's important to be able to see a bigger picture. So I've got a bigger triangle right here. Okay, I know like every single triangle that equals 180. Now, let's talk about the angles that are within that. I know I have 66 plus, and because all three of these are the same, I can say plus 3D. So now all I have to do is do the math to get what D is, and I should be good to go. All right, so I'm going to minus 66, all right, and that's going to give me 114 equals 3D. All right, then I'm going to divide by 3, all right, so D equals 36. Okay, so D equals 36, so I've got a 36 here, I've got a 36 here, and I've got a 36 here. All right, so now I pretty much have all the information I need in order to complete the whole figure. Okay, knowing that this is 36 and this is 56, to get N, I would subtract that from 180, right? Okay, so 36 plus 56 is 92. Okay, so 180 minus 92 is 88? 88. N is 88. Now I have 56 and 88, so 56 plus 88. Okay, I'm going to subtract that from 180, and I'm going to get P equals 36. All right, and like I said, all these should have degree marks. All right, so I'm done with the right side. Now, what we learned yesterday was I've got some congruency right here and some congruency right here. So this is an isosceles triangle. Because it's an isosceles triangle, I know that if the two sides are equal, then the two opposite angles are equal. One's 36, so the other's 36. So in order to get H, I'm going to do 180 minus 36 plus 36. So 180 minus 72 is 108. So H is 108. All right, K is easy. I do 180 minus 108, and that's going to give me 72. All right, so I'm complete over here. Now, let's worry about this guy. Okay, so I've got a 36 here and a 66 here. So to get F, I'll do 180 minus 36 plus 66. All right, so that's 180 minus 108. Okay, and I've already done that somewhere, right? So that's 72. So F is 72. So now that I have F and this unknown name over here, I'm going to do 72 plus 36. Okay, and that's going to give me 108. Okay, so what's G? Okay, so 180 minus 108, 72. Okay, so was that a little bit more difficult than what we have been doing? Yes, it is a little bit more difficult than what we have been doing because I had to look at what else they were giving me. Now, don't want to scare you. Nothing like this will be on the quiz tomorrow. Okay, so the quiz will be a lot easier than this image. This is more of an image that might be on a possible test in the future. All right, so that's that one. Okay, on to the next slide. All right, so the next one I had questions about was number 11. So number 11 tells me that the Islamic design below right, so this design right here, is based on the star decagon. What is a decagon? Yes, 10 sides, okay? Decagon has 10 sides. Okay, construction shown below left, okay? The 10 angles surrounding the center, so they're right here. So believe it or not, there are 10 right there. So the 10 angles surrounding the center are all congruent. Find the lettered angle measures. How many triangles are not isosceles? So we're trying to identify each one of these. We know some congruency, so that's going to help us. Now, in order to get started, we need to use the information they gave us that the 10 angles are congruent. What do we know about a circle? How many degrees are in a circle? Okay, so we have 360 degrees in a circle. They told me that there were 10 angles and they were all the same. So I'm just going to divide 360 by 10. That's going to give me 36. So I've already got A and B out of the way. 36, 36. Okay? So now that I know this is 36, it's telling me that this angle is definitely isosceles because it has two congruent sides. Okay, excuse me, two congruent angles. Because of those two congruent angles, I can do 180 minus 36, which gives me 144. I can divide 144 by 2. Okay, and that's going to give me 72. So I know this guy's 72. I know this guy's 72. All right, so I know this guy's 72. Now, in order to get C, I could do 36 plus 72 and subtract that from 180. Or what I really want you to notice here is that, hey, wait, B is 36 and so is A. One of these angles is 72. So this has to be 72, okay? So that's really analyzing the information that they have given me. I know this is 36, this is 36, one is 72, so 72 is what's left. So boom, automatically I know that this is also an isosceles triangle. Now, over here, we've got to figure out what's going on over here and what's left over here. I don't have any isosceles marks, no congruency marks, so I don't know if anything's the same. So the easiest thing for me to figure out would be D. Okay, so I'm going to take 180 minus 72 because this is a linear pair. Okay, and then from there, I do the subtraction, so I get 108. So I know that D is 108. Now, again, like I said, I don't have any congruency, so I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do 180 minus 72 plus 72, which we know already is 144. Okay, so 180 minus 144 gives us that 36. So this guy right here is 36. All right, so in order to get E, I do 180 minus 108 minus 36. Plus, that's going to give me 36 as well. So this is 36 as well. So that tells me that this triangle is also an isosceles triangle. So we've basically solved for every single triangle in this entire thing just by knowing what every one of these is, what every one of these outside ones are, and what every one of these tiny little inside ones are. So how many triangles are not isosceles? None. Okay, no triangles are not isosceles. So that's pretty much how we do number 11. All right, and last, number 13. Now, number 13, people have been making a little bit harder than it is. I think we've just forgotten because it's been a couple months since we've done congruency, and we're going to be getting a lot more into that in the future. So it's a great refresher. Okay, so it's telling us that triangle GEA is congruent to another triangle. Now, what the rule that I taught you, okay, the rule that we know is that we have to match up the letters. So G is the same as N. So that's going to be my first, N. E is the same as C. And A, of course, is the same as A because they are vertical. So that's really your whole answer. Triangle GEA is congruent to triangle NCA. Now listen, really important. If you do not have the right order, let's say your answer was congruent to triangle CAN, it's wrong, okay? And I'll mark it wrong. It is so very important that you line up the angles with what they are congruent to. Okay, so that's all the homework problems I'm going over. Those were the majority of the ones that I had questions on. If you still don't understand something, email me, but I'm pretty sure most everything else was straightforward, or you asked me about it this morning. Okay, so that is as far as the homework. Mr. Lawless will be collecting the homework after the lesson, so don't get jumpy. Hold on to your homework, and he will collect it after the lesson. All right.